clowned her.
With her basic knee cuts.
Fionn clowned her.
I freaking love her.
Absolutely clowned her. But here's the thing that's so stupid about it is, if you look at all the greats, like Bernardo Faria, over underpass, Octavio Souza, flower sweep. Like it's just one thing. It's just
Harsha Gracie, his Harsha pass.
You just can't stop it.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. You can't stop it. What are you gonna do about it?
That's why I tell students all the time. All right, look, like the bulk of your stuff you're gonna learn, as a white belt, is gonna be everything.
Right.
But when you're training and then it's time for you to go like open mats and then you're like specifically training on something certain that you want to do like that, just keep it a 1 to 2 things. You don't need like that. Like, everybody thinks they need this huge ass Swiss Army knife, fucking, shit like that. I'm gonna pull out this spoon and I'm gonna pull out this freaking saw blade and I'm gonna pull out this fillet. Like, no, I got scissors in my back pocket. Like,
right.
Like, nah, man, just stick to that one nice clean blade. All right, that is gonna cut.
That's it.
All right.
That's it. Maybe you need a spoon. Maybe. And it's good to have a spoon.
Yeah.
But that's not you. You don't go.
And that's what going back to the last freaking episode when I said like that big force, imagery like that. I think is the best thing, because again, you have multiple routes, meaning all your different moves that you're gonna learn and stuff, meaning all the different routes that you can get to the other side. But like that, all you need is just one path to get to the other side. That's it.
Yeah.
That's
you know
it.
what I mean? And if it's the knee cut, then it's the knee cut,
bro.
You know what I mean? And if ain't nobody gonna stop you, getting from one side to the other that fast with just a knee cut, hey, guess what,
bro?
They said that she did like 7 to 10 knee cut passes on her.
It was
disrespectful.
The disrespect.
I mean, it was like, but so this is what, like, stop trying to make it like it doesn't have to be MMA. Mm-hmm. Like we don't have to have a shit talking press conference for people to be into the
MMA. Did he?
I don't know.
I think he did.
I don't know. But Wagner does that smother choke where he takes his hand and puts it over your mouth. He's
dirty.
Like, yeah.
Did y'all read the comment that he posted? Y'all read the
comment
comment that he posted on Flow Grappling? Oh.
Wagner did?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Oh, what he said.
Let's see.
All right, guys, welcome back to Sweat Equity. Eric Valdez alongside Jules Johnson and Lynn Lopez, guys. All right, we're already in the thick of it, going over the recap. All right, we're gonna go match by match, especially the highlights for sure on who's number one that just happened last night, and then going back another week, guys. We want to recap with ONE FC like that. Drop a like, we'll follow, subscribe, guys. Leave a comment on what was your favorite match for sure. We're gonna have chapter markers at the very bottom, guys. So go ahead and fast forward to the topic that you want to listen to, like that. If you don't want to waste your time, if not, go ahead and if you find yourself in the middle of the show, and you still haven't liked, or subscribed, do so as well, like that. What was your I know already right now which one was not your favorite match.
Oh,
which one was your favorite?
No,
match?
my favorite match was watching Fionn Davies and Jasmine Rocha. The other matches, bro, they were just I thought the kind of match was going to turn out differently, but it's just it's really the problem I have with no-gi. It's just that you stand and you just push each other,
Yeah.
push each other, like
talk about just standing around and pushing each other and stuff like that. I just finished watching I don't know what page it was or anything like that, but it was Bruno Baustow.
Bruno Baustow. Yeah.
He's the head coach for
Lead.
Yeah. Okay. And then it was Cyborg.
Yep.
I think it was like 2018 Worlds.
Yep.
Master like 6 or something
bro,
like that.
Bro, I'm Master 3. I'm Master 4. He's younger than me, bro.
So I saw it and I remember watching that fight.
Yeah.
And so it was just the all it was like congratulations again on winning like that kind of post. And my wife doesn't know anything about jiu-jitsu. You know, the only thing she really knows of jiu-jitsu is just letting me know how much time is on the clock. And if I'm winning or losing, that's it when she goes to the matches to come see me. So I show her that little highlight of him winning, Bruno. All right, like that. And I was like, babe, if you had to guess how many points this guy won this match by, this is a world title, by the way, babe. Like how much? Like she was like, oh, he probably won by like a close 1 point. I was like, nah. It was 0-0 and 2 disadvantages on both of them. It was the worst fight I've ever seen. It was so bad. Yeah. You know, for high level guys, black belts and stuff like that, I was like, wow. It's like, you know, the dude won because he collar freaking drug a little bit freaking harder. You know, like that. It was just so bad.
Oh God!
Tell me, am I wrong?
I remember the match.
Yeah.
But so that's one of the things. You know, Paulo talks about it a lot, and it's true.
Yeah.
When you get guys like everybody on the high level, like you're looking like that one mistake could be the whole match.
Yeah. Oh,
yep.
And I say that.
Yep.
You know,
the one mistake could be the whole match, except. Like there's got to be some point where you have to be
like you got to get a point.
Like I got to
pull guard, dude. Like the whole thing. Like they didn't even not one time even think about changing up their game plan. No, it was just hanging on each other.
Yeah.
All right, but back to who's number one though. All right, you know, I know for a fact that Nicholas Margali and Conor DeRight was not that boring.
Nah, bro, did you see it?
It was a finish though, so it wasn't boring.
It was. Let's see. Kind of got in on a leg.
Yeah.
Early on, but that
which was expected, you know, because
Then Nicholas got in on a leg that was stopped, and then later on, he like got in on a leg, shuck to the back, and then take down, like weave the leg, take down, and then it was like, bro, I was so disappointed to see that finish, bro. It was like, oh well, okay, I'm done.
Yeah, I was like, like I told you, the angle I was watching that, it was a little weird. So like I was like, is this a smother choke? You know, it was like that because it was from the backside of the mount. So looking at Nicholas McGrawley's back,
right?
You know, like not the angle that you just showed me right now. And even though that angle that I was like, Nick, I'm pretty sure he is that strong.
Right.
But come on now. Like, I feel like it was like a kind of an exhaustion kind of tat.
That's
yeah.
That's how I feel about it.
I was like, all that trash talking you're doing like that, you think you'd be in a little bit better shape to fight yourself out of an arm triangle. But, who am I? I don't got no championships.
What do you think, Lynn?
Yeah.
Who was your favorite match?
I didn't get to see any of the matches. I saw a lot of the highlights and I read an article, but Fionn Davies, that was when I saw those highlights, I was like, of course they were going to put out a show.
Yeah,
called her, Jasmine called her out like hard on that one, on the
sell
conference.
Tickets, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
I was
But
like,
it was a major call out though.
Yeah.
It was like
it got real personal. It got
boyfriend, the city, the fucking knee cut passes. I was like, nobody talked this much shit knowing this.
It was like, yeah, how can you keep your belt? How can you keep your belt? You're all distracted, and she was just kind of like, what? I was like, all right.
And you dig does that to you?
It's like, I mean, yo,
it's like I didn't want to say it, but I guess I had no comment. I think if anything, it kind of makes you more happy, right?
Yeah.
Well,
I like if I need my wife to do anything or I want a favor, like that. Guess what she getting tonight? But tomorrow she's gonna be real happy.
But here's the thing, though. Her boyfriend.
I hope she don't see this man.
He's not a chump though.
Yeah,
it's Gabriel Souza. He's not a chump.
I was like,
So it's like, like if her boyfriend was like, the manager at Target or something, you'd be like, oh, okay, just chill.
Yeah, bro, and the team that she's training with, bro,
come on,
like, I'm like, yo, that's a top tier team,
Yeah, it's like, what are you? Tell me what exactly you hating on again? Yeah. It's like, all right, whatever.
I think the only thing is maybe she just, getting distracted from the fast pace of New York.
No, she was talking about her weight cut too, but her weight cut wasn't even that bad. Like she cut it like no problem.
The biggest thing that she had that could have been a legit distraction was that she does gi and no gi. And then you say, oh, you don't just focus. That's the biggest thing.
I said this last time. I was like, man, jiu-jitsu is jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I feel like everything translates pretty well for the most part.
For the most part, it does, but like that, there is a little bit of strategic, just little changes here and there because you know obviously your grips change. There's no grips, you know, like that. Yeah. But it doesn't undermine the fact that hey, you've still been doing jiu-jitsu for a decade. You're a black belt. You're a world
gripped that
champ,
ass to knee cut though.
Yeah,
she gripped that ass for that knee cut. Yeah. It's whatever. It's all good. I ain't tripping.
What about how you feel about Little Danaher? You know what I mean? She's cleaning up. Yeah.
Helena.
She's cleaning up, bro. And I think she's really putting herself on the map.
You know, I just want to see. Yeah, she is, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
you think right now it's a lot of what am I?
Ducks.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, like that. You know, just stepping stones right now.
But see the thing. But see, here's the other thing.
What do we call them in fights? You know, I'm trying.
They're
tune-ups.
Tune-ups. Yeah,
a lot of tune-ups.
I don't even know if they're tune-ups, but it's just like, cause she's young, she's big.
She doesn't do ADCC. I mean, she only does ADCC.
She only
IBJJF or nothing.
I feel like I saw her do a few posts like that. Yeah,
she's done some IBJJF.
And she like in her early career.
I think I saw her do I thought I saw her win a Naga championship too.
I've seen her do that. Yeah,
she's done some jiu-jitsu world league. Like she's put the gi on.
Yeah,
I don't know how much she's in the gi now with New Wave. Or
probably
New Wave.
Yeah.
I don't know how much she's in the gi now, but. I mean, I think she's tough, and see, here's the other thing, though. I don't know who would you match her against, though. Who would you match her against that you like? All right, she got something.
I'm not sure yet. You know, right?
Yeah,
now, she's still coming up.
Can't even place her.
Like
yeah. But it's I mean, it's good to watch. I like to see like the young up and comers. Like I like to see it. You know, she's the same. It's kind of the same path Cole took.
Mm-hmm.
Went to school, trained for a little bit, then left, solely focused on jiu-jitsu. Went to a good team.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Cole is fucking the show up.
Yeah, not yet.
So
true.
Being a blue belt that young and then you're tapping out black belts is kind of unheard of. But with a good pedigree.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's what happened. Remember Roberto Jimenez?
Yeah, man, I think he bit off way too much than he could chew very early. You know what I mean? He was hot fire for a second and and things like that, and then.
I think that they took him away from. He was good. He still is good. When he was with Alliance, he had a lot of good training partners.
Mm-hmm.
Then the team broke off from Alliance. I think he lost his training partner.
Yeah, do it himself.
And now he's trying to train. Now, who are you training with?
He has his own school in Vegas and things like that. So
who are you training with? It's very, very, very difficult to stay top in the upper echelon. I'm the one teaching everybody, so I have to.
He's around still because he's always quarterfinals, semifinals, in big events and stuff like that. But then he runs into bigger names, and then
with tougher rooms.
Yeah.
He just competed in something not too long ago. It was good.
I believe he was in Europe. He did the Euros. He did Pans this year.
He did do Pans.
Like that. But he was running into like Tannen Dalper, and he was running into I want to say even Andy Murasaki. Things like that. Again, bigger names with the tougher rooms. Like you just said,
with the hard room. Yeah.
What about Pena? It's pretty good.
That match went exactly the way I thought it was gonna go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, Felipe's good, bro.
Mm-hmm.
He's good. Felipe's and he's been good for a long time. If you think about the one like kind of wall that he hit, it's just Gordon Ryan.
Yeah. Isn't there a rematch clause on that one? From
man,
the last
I hope
one?
so. I hope so.
You know what I mean? Obviously, it just sucks, the situation of him fighting under and losing his best friend, R.I.P., Leandro Lowe and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, and then coming out to a month, it was probably like a month later to do the show it was the day of.
It was like the day. It was like the same day.
I'm not saying it's an excuse, or anything like that. But obviously that's weighing on his head a lot. And,
right.
He's not in his right mind. But I thought they had an immediate rematch after that. That was the big talks afterwards when just that subpar fucking performance, and then that long drug out match, and then Gordon Ryan with the ultimate finish. So.
Yeah, then Gordon got sick, then he got sick again, and so but that's his wall. That's been Pena's wall. I mean, other than that. And I say wall because those matches are actually pretty even. They're pretty even matches. Other than that, I was like, I mean, and Ryder went hard on Cyborg a couple of times. Like he got Cyborg at ADCC. He submitted Cyborg at ADCC in like a minute and a half or so, like quick. Super fast.
Yeah, quick, super quick.
But
hey man, and he's such a threat, man. Like, you know, because he just obviously athletic and strong, you know, but just that long frame.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, he's just not skinny where he's giving up strength. You know, the dude is built.
He's big.
Yeah,
he's
you know,
big.
Yeah,
he's a big, solid dude. And
people like that, man, they're always dangerous.
Yeah, like big,
and you know, he's
guys.
young too, because you know he's barely hit the scene last year. I would say,
it's a couple of years,
you know, so freaking, you know, and he's going against a lot of big names right now, and really giving them a lot of, competition. I'm like, man, for sure, you know.
What do you think about? What about your boy Dante Leon?
Hey,
and that guy that he fought, I don't even the BT guy that he fought, Cresta. His name was long, starts with a bunch of C's stuff.
That didn't matter. No, you know, freaking.
As like I said, the other matches were just what I expected. Like like this is the way I expected it to go.
So let's go back a week before that with one, and you know, Mikey and Musimeshi, like that. Man, that was a pretty sick triangle setup,
bro.
You know? He didn't finish the triangle, but that straight armbar, like shotgun style armbar. Like that, man, you know, just talk about just being, you know, thinking out the box, and, you know, like that.
That kid has some great transitions, bro. He's got super smooth.
He's always on the attack. Always on the attack.
Super smooth transitions, and he got because let's see, when he first locked up the triangle, wasn't his head like hanging off the ring or something? Like you
know, freaking. But I don't think he was in a bad position.
No, he wasn't. It was just like he was just.
Yeah.
It's just an awkward position. He was like, nah.
You know, and
welcome to Between My Legs.
Yeah, and like I don't even know the guy he's fighting, but you know, he was a real tough wrestler. You know, he said he was just gonna wrestle, stay on his feet and wrestle Mikey to death and stuff like that. You know, when he got caught in there, he was doing a real good job on not getting that elbow across his face.
Jared Brooks.
Yeah, and you know, I think it was just. Obviously, that's why he's a multiple world champ and everything, you know, freaking, and he is who he is. You know, he locked up that freaking, that shotgun style armbar and just cranked the shit out of that. Man, he was just forced to tap. And I was like, man, you know, things like that, when I see that, like, I love seeing, on the fly adjustments like that.
Yeah.
Because, you know what, he did do nothing super crazy. You know, like that, and it was so practical. It's like, you know what, anybody can implement that in their game. And next time when they catch yourself with someone that's in a triangle that's very tough to get the arm across and finish, you know, like that, and they can't get their hips out and cut the angle on the triangle and things like that. You know, here's
a good option.
It is. I love seeing options like that, go-to options like that, because you know. A lot of people tend to forget, you know, what they have in front of them, or that other opposite arm too.
Right.
You know, I'm starting to see a lot of attacks with that outside hand. You know, I have the triangle, but they're attacking the out, and you know, and stuff like that.
Theon went for that like Tarika Plata or whatever that new fancy shoulder lock Plata is. Right at the end of the match.
I like it. I like it a lot. You know, it gives the top guy a big false sense of security. They're like, oh, I'm stacking them and I'm about to freaking turn the corner and pass, you know, to side control. And yeah, like that pressure, and it's such a weird pressure on your shoulder. You know what I mean? Like that, and like the more you force that pass,
then goes
she's been caught on it. she's been caught in it. Yeah.
Here I go, think I'm about to.
And it's just such a man. Like, you know, and they like, it's almost at a point where it's scary, because you know what, you're doing it to yourself, and you like that, and like you're really forcing that side control pass, that stack pass, and you're doing it to yourself, and you don't know it until you start to pop your head out, and you're like, you know what I mean? It's just, you know, like, I'm about to pop my shoulder out and I need a tap now. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's a weird thing, you know, like that. Ty, what you think about his? That's another guy just so relentless on attacks and stuff like that, and it was a little controversy on that one. Because like, okay,
that dude tapped, bro. That dude got tapped twice in 20 seconds. 100%.
Yeah. All right, because it was a belly down heel hook. All right, and like, I'm not gonna lie, like it was like just that. It wasn't like
Yeah.
Like, you know, it wasn't
Yeah.
multiple taps, you know that.
Right.
And so in a row, yeah, you would stop. But like this is a championship fight,
Yeah.
with money and bonus money and stuff like that. You know, you kind of want to see the multiples, you know,
Yeah.
you know, like that, and that didn't happen. So, but hey, Ty being a true competitor, he didn't hear no bell ring, he didn't hear no ref coming in or like that. He jumped on his back,
jumped right back out and
finished
finished
the rear naked. So, hey, that goes to
think
show
the
you,
dude
right? Yeah,
did that. I think the dude did that because he was like,
they call that the Brazilian tap.
he was like, I can make it stop, and the
Yeah,
ref will
yeah,
just start us over.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think he was like, oh
Nah,
god,
hey, nah,
Nope.
hey, good on freaking just being you know, aware. You
Yep.
know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like that on Ty and stuff like that. He didn't hear no bell. The ref wasn't in, looking at each other kind of stupid. He jumped on that net quick, put the hooks in, and finished the rear naked. He made sure he won that bell.
when they were sitting
Yeah.
there and he stopped.
Right, yeah.
And then, you know, dude's looking at Ty, the ref is like right over his shoulder. They're all just sitting there looking at each other, and then he was like, all right, and just jumped right back in on him, which
Nah, good on him. Good on him. You know what I mean? Do not leave it to the judges.
Yeah.
Like that. And that's right there, prime example. So if y'all didn't see that match,
it's
you know,
hard
for
though
sure.
because part of you says, the gentleman in you says, the dude tap, let it go.
Yeah.
But then the other part of you is like,
hey, money
but
on
the
the
ref
line.
didn't stop it.
All right.
Keep going, yeah.
If this
Yeah.
is a Saturday at, you know, grappling game or something, okay,
Right.
you know,
Right, whatever,
we
yeah.
can restart or something. Nah, this is thousands of dollars and the belt.
Submission of the night bonus.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. Your ankle might be broke if you don't tap for real.
Well, you know,
what I mean?
I've always had the feeling or belief that, like, once you get it and you think the person taps, you just don't have to move anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't have to let it go,
Yeah.
but I don't have to.
Yeah.
I don't have to continue to crank it.
You
I can just
start
freeze.
slow, steady,
Yeah.
you know, just like
Yeah.
that until you really they break it. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I get it. You know, that's where the gentleman comes in. You don't rip the shit out of it like, you know, what's so that one heavyweight
that
fucking
one
blue
guy.
belt that
Yeah.
broke like
Oh.
a ton of fucking ankles
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he even calls himself that, like the ankle
Yeah, yeah,
slayer or some
Yeah,
shit like that.
yeah.
You know, and
Super
then
proud of
then
it,
he started
yeah.
running into other guys that did the same shit to him. And,
Well, you know, there was
yeah,
a
like
big
don't you can't be don't be a dick.
there
you know?
was a
Yeah.
big controversy once with Johnny Grippo and a heel hook.
Yeah.
And
Hey, bro,
bro,
he's nasty, bro. He can be a little savage with that shit. Yeah,
bro.
I've seen a
But the
couple of
thing
matches.
is, it's quick.
Yeah.
So you have to go in and grab it, and he just grabbed it. I don't think it was dirty. It didn't see. I mean, I roll with Johnny. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think it was dirty. It's just like, this is a heel hook. Like,
Yeah.
I need to
Yeah.
grab it, and
Yeah.
it's a quick. If I miss, and he grabbed it, then the guy was all pissed. He was like, bro,
Yeah, you know,
It was
if
there.
if you're like Rafael Palomaro or something like that,
Right.
You know, yeah, don't be a guy like him. You know, what I mean?
Right.
That dude, man, he like this, like multiple times. He got kicked out of UFC and he got kicked out of Bellator. He's banned for life. He's never gonna fight in those
Yep.
things like that because in both of those shows, he's freaking caught his thing was a heel hook.
Yeah.
and even the ref is like fucking yanking him and stuff like that, and he held on.
He's holding it.
Like held on like 30 seconds way past the time and like that, you know. And yeah, he's permanently banned from those.
Yeah,
for
he's a
those,
dangerous dude.
like that, you know.
but you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
No.
But so Rug and Buchecha.
Is he coming back?
Bro.
Hey,
Did
you know
see
what,
that
man?
match, bro?
Yeah, man. You know what? This right here is a great lesson for him to learn from. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily think he met his match as you know, freaking, you know, overall, you know, like that. I just felt that this guy had a real good game plan. Was real aggressive to not get taken to the ground.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, you know,
Good
he did.
sprawls.
Yeah.
Very
yeah,
good sprawls.
You know,
Great
you can
takedown
obviously tell
defense.
you that, you know what? I'm gonna stay away from this dude's legs. You know, he probably worked a lot of just kicking out and sprawls, you know, out of the guard game. He did not want to get caught in that like that. And then he put himself in situations where he was able to ground and pound. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like that. And again, what did we cover on last episode? Right? Fastest way you get someone off your ankles and stuff like that. Hammer,
you in the
fist, and
face.
hooks.
Yep.
Yes. And that's what he did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you know, he was just super relentless. You know what I mean?
But you know,
To-
so this second round, never forget this. This was embarrassing, actually. Second round, bro. Buchecha goes, I'm gonna win by armbar, and he in the second round when he gets control, he's got control of the guy. He's going to his back, and he goes for that terrible armbar, bro.
Tired.
It was like day one armbar. It's like, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah. Freaking but he finished strong though. He did finish strong, not knowing that that he's not a striker and stuff like that. And then he at the very end of the fight, he was standing and banging.
He was,
yeah, you know what I mean,
because he was losing.
Hey, it's not like he went to his go-to and try to do another sloppy takedown for.
Well, he had the one time in round 3 he had the dude's back.
Yeah,
and then he just kind of like.
Bro,
like he just got off,
bro. Hey, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. When you're in there, you're actually in there, and your freaking hands feel like 1,000 pounds. Like the gloves, or you just have cement gloves on. That's exactly what you feel like, man. And your freaking forearms are just pumped
full of blood, yeah,
like that. Hey, good luck trying to finish something, like that, and you're just overstimulated, from just the fight itself, and your adrenaline is at an all-time high. And so like that, I think right now, even though this is his first loss, I think it's going to be a great, tool for him to learn from.
First time out of the first round.
Yeah. And so,
first time out of the first round, first time without a finish. Mm-hmm. At the, now,
can't be 100%, for your whole career.
But now it's like, okay, so really, because that's the thing with mixed martial arts,
mm-hmm.
There are people here that can punch, and have no desire to go to the ground. They just want to hit you.
They have a good sprawl, or they can really just clear their legs in their, in guard and stuff like that, and freaking force you to stand to your feet. You know what I mean?
They know what you do, and they're like, I don't do that.
Yeah.
So I'm just not gonna do that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We've seen that happened a couple of times in the UFC where a guy will go. We've seen guys against Nick and Nate Diaz, they'll be on the ground. Anderson Silva, that famous video of him laying on his back, and the dude just looking at him like, get up. I'm like, no, you come down here. No, I'm not going down there to play with you.
No.
Come on up here, let's fight.
The ones that ego driven and things like that, and I'm gonna beat him at his game. Nah, you're gonna lose at his game. The ones that are smart, and maybe it's boring. Take someone like GSP. Like that. Mm-hmm. He made sure to always freaking he studied you and then made sure that I'm gonna beat him at his weaknesses, and I'm gonna make sure to try to keep up with him with his strengths. And a lot of times towards the end of his career, while he was a champion and winning multiple title defenses and stuff like that, it was boring. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But again, these are the best of the best. You're not gonna have 100% knockouts or finish rates and stuff at this point of your career.
Who was one of the most exciting, boring fighters in the UFC?
GSP.
Matt Hughes, bro.
Yeah. Well, it was a different era.
It was
a different era. You know what I mean? And so freaking you can only see someone get freaking double A takedown and then drug to the floor and then just ground and pound so often.
One of the most exciting, boring fighters I've ever seen. I was that huge, double and that high crotch, bro.
Yeah, I was a huge, freaking the whole Frank Trigg trilogy, and then going with GSP. Man, he had back to back trilogies.
Bro.
He was
crazy.
Like that. If you don't know who he is, look up his highlights. Man, it's just so sad to see him at the stage now. Because of that train accident.
The trainer,
like that. But
like freaking, a bad train wreck.
Yeah. Like dude should have been dead.
Went from.
If you didn't know, he got caught on a train track. His truck stalled out, and the train hit him while he was in the truck, and he still survived. But to see him now,
But didn't he go from not being able to walk to kind of walking?
Yeah. No, he's up, fully walking, everything. Has a very poor or real bad speech impediment now. But he's still cognitive and functioning like that. But it's not even a glimmer of what he used to be at all.
Love watching Matt Hughes.
Matt Hughes was
Matt Hughes was 4 foot tall. Traps that came from the start of his fucking hairline, and he just came out, and he was going to. He was from the breadbasket Midwest, and he was going to wrestle you to
Iowa
death.
Hawk freaking wrestling like that dude and then, he was the first he was one of the first persons I really when I first started watching UFC and stuff like that, I was like, man, this dude is fucking he got me into it because I was doing wrestling like that. I was like, man, this dude is freaking nice. What I mean, just taking everyone down. There's a real, I don't know if You probably don't know who do you know what I'm talking about? No. All right, but I'm pretty sure you know this highlight. All right, it's a UFC highlight. It's a guy that freaking picks the guy up off the fence. All right, double leg, and then walks him all the way to the opposite end of the octagon to freaking
jump up in the air,
and spear him into the ground right in front of his corner, so he can finish the guy and listen to his coaches talk like that. You know, you never know like that. Yeah,
but that sounds epic.
He had so much like
such a strong wrestler.
He had so much like
he put wrestling on the map.
He was a crazy wrestler.
Yeah, he put wrestling on the map.
He had so much like ring awareness. Like one of the things that he would always do. GSP used to do it too. Chuck Liddell used to do it too. But like, if you were here, like they would angle you to where I can see my coach.
Yeah.
I do that all the time. You know what I mean? I like, you know, freaking, I tell all my kids and stuff like that. And then when I was fighting, I would always do it. If I can ever find myself in just the vicinity of the corner, I don't necessarily have to freaking look at them, because again, you want to, you want to hear with your ears, not with your eyes, like that. Last thing like that. So freaking, it's such a huge help, especially with an arena of thousands of people and stuff like that.
Loud,
the last thing you want to really be is on the opposite end in their corner,
right?
And you can't hear shit from your coach and stuff like that. And if you know Sauce Elise, in anyone's corner, he didn't say a lot. He really didn't say a lot. I mean, the only time he ever said something is it was real rare, but it was an opening, and you better have took it right then and there. You know what I mean?
So it's we've all done it, because you've all competed. Like you lock in and like you hear that voice.
Yeah. Tunnel vision.
There have been days as one. Austin, maybe San Antonio, I don't remember, maybe Houston, but I remember being in the mat, and my side, Matt, mid cage, Matt, Pablo on the other side, and I hear Jules grab the leg, and I'm like, oh, okay, bet. Because you can't hear anything else except like the voice that you tune into. And so Matt Hughes.
Yeah, Matt Hughes for sure. He's a legend, like that, and but he was just going back. He was the one that really put wrestling on the map, where people like, what, I need to know how to wrestle, like, or some type of grappling. Or because my hands ain't working, because it wasn't WWE wrestling anymore. It was like real practical. Yeah, like the dude was slipping. He was slipping, getting under punches and blasting through your freaking your legs. I mean your punches or your kicks, and then freaking game over after that. And you know how I break up like different eras for MMA and stuff like that. Because in the very beginning, you're talking about Horace Gracie, Legacy, all through there like that, like. The reason he was so dominant, it was like because jiu-jitsu is just they put it on the map being a dominant sport like that. But the thing is that they only had one martial art, you know what I mean? And he was so proficient in it, no one could stop it. Right. You know what I mean? Like that. And then kind of catch wrestling was kind of creeping in alongside with it when they started, like going head to head, because Ken Shamrock was doing it, and then who was he has a beard, I can see his mustache, and he was a champion as well, big dude. You're talking about God, why can't I think? And he's a legend too. But he was doing catch wrestling too, a style like that, and then not Dean Lister. No, you're talking about that's not Dean Lister, man. It's not Dean Lister. It's oh my God! Come on, I can't. I can see his face right now. Okay, I'm not. Yeah. Okay. All right, and so that was the very beginning. So like that. But the thing is that it was only you only specialized in one martial arts. But then you start getting into the next era. You're talking about with GSP. Matt Hughes. BJ Penn. Carlos, what's the guy with the afro that Matt Hughes freaking spearhead like off the fence and then knocked him out? Carlos something. I can. But these guys, now they're proficient in two martial arts. You're talking about either boxing and wrestling, kickboxing, some jiu-jitsu and things like that, But then now you look at this era now today, I'm like, if you're not proficient in boxing, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, and wrestling, All
You're
right,
not making it.
like that. Yeah, like you're done.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you have to be proficient in all those things, you know, because you just don't know where the fight's gonna be at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, like that. And so I've always seen those different areas like that. Now I'm starting to see, okay, you're proficient in all 4 of those, but now what's next? What I'm seeing is that now you have to be ambidextrous. If you can't switch stances and be efficient on your right side and your left side.
Right.
All right, like that. And Anderson Silva's the one that freaking put that on the map.
Yeah.
You know, he was notorious for always switching stances and changing the rhythm and stuff like that. And now you're starting to see a lot of guys just always mid fight just switching up stances and stuff like that. Dominic Cruz took it to another level with always being offline with that. No.
Not Chuck Liddell?
No, it's not Chuck Liddell. No, man, it's way older than that. You know, freaking. You know.
You're talking about. Man, I just saw him. Randy Couture was also good.
It was.
You're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on.
And I want to say it's Dan something. I want to say he's Dan.
It's not
something.
Mark Coleman. It's Dan Servin.
Yeah. Him. You know, like that. Yeah, because.
Yeah.
You know, he was coming from wrestling background and stuff like that, and so kind of keeping up with the jiu-jitsu guys and pounding them up like that. But it was just a one style.
It was that one of the things that made that so great though was jiu-jitsu and wrestling both like required you to be on the ground. So then it was always like who got to the control first.
Yeah.
Like who got to the control first, because that was one of the things like when you watch the Chuck Liddells and the Matt Hughes and the GSPs, like sometimes GSP would take a shot to the chin, but if he got his hands on you,
he'll take a shot to you know. To
if he got his hands on you, it was a wrap.
Yeah,
like it was a wrap. Like it's over for you. And that's when it was, because when you see like the traditional like striker versus ground guy, right? Like it's like, okay, you know, you just figure out who's going on. But when you have 2 ground guys, like it's like, oh, now what's going to happen?
Who's going to get the striking? You know what I mean? Like
now what's going to happen?
You know? And so that's what it was, you know what I mean? Because you run into those people that, okay, they're butting heads and they're evenly matched with ground or striking and stuff like that. And like, who had the other martial arts to freaking kick in to freaking edge out the other guy. See? Yeah, for sure, like that. Did you catch the?
Don't
Jake,
say it. I knew it. I knew it.
Jake Paul. I had to say it, bro.
Bro, what was that, bro?
Hey, it's a money
was a
grab,
clown
bro.
show.
It's a money grab.
So
it's a big money grab.
Respect. Jake Paul's looking better every time he goes out, bro.
Bro, you know who's in this corner? All right, Sugar Shane Mosley, bro.
I mean,
all right. You don't have, you know, you're not gonna be.
But here's the problem, though. You heard what he did after that. We heard what Jake Paul said after the fight.
Like who he wants to fight, or
he said he's catching up to Canelo, bro.
Oh, bro.
Come on, bro.
Hey, you got it. You have to, bro. You have to sell. All right, you have to sell.
Canelo? Come on, bro.
Hey, 2026. He said he's gonna be a world champ. All right, he's gonna have a belt,
bro.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. Look, hey, you know, he is getting like, you know, at this point, all right, if you're not paying attention, you're an idiot.
Right.
You know, like that. You
right.
know, really. You're just really refusing to see what this guy's doing at this point. You know, like don't get me wrong. In the beginning, I was like, the fuck, some YouTube guy. I was like, what the fuck does he know about boxing or just fighting in general? You know what I mean? But at this point, okay, all right, 7-1, not beating tier top guys at all. You know, not really. Not Tyson Fury. What's his brother?
Tyron Woodley.
No. The Fury. Freaking Tyson Fury's brother. What's his name? Yeah. Anyway, Tyson Fury's brother. That's his like most
bad
legit.
Disrespectful, bro. Bad disrespectful.
That's his most legit freaking fight. You know, and you know, and ended up losing. You know what I mean? But the thing is that he hung with him.
It's the same thing that you do to boxers always, though.
Yeah.
All boxers, they come out. I love him to death. Floyd Mayweather. Nobody can tell me who Floyd Mayweather's first 20 fights were.
Of course not. You know what I mean? Because they're all tune-up fights.
They're all ducks. They're all ducks. You're like, here's some ducks. You put them in a barrel. Go kill all of these.
Yeah.
But then when it's time to start, the difference is, though, and he does have names on his resume, but he doesn't have names in his prime on his resume. He's got old Tyron Woodley, old Diaz. He's got like
old Silva, like old retired, 35 plus freaking fighters,
right?
And stuff like that. Yeah, they're fighters, but are they championship caliber boxers? You know what I mean? That's the right now. That's the asterisk on his name.
Championship caliber boxers and championship caliber boxers today.
Yeah. That's the asterisk on his name right now.
Right.
And like until he actually really steps in there and things like that, and going against contenders, in the boxing world, not the MMA world, not bringing MMA people into the boxing world,
right,
like that, but it's just gonna be a money grab. And is he doing a fucking fantastic job? Okay, you cannot deny that dude, like that. So and right now, if you haven't watched it, because I watched it, was and just talk about how fucking smart and strategic, and that this guy is, that on another level for making money, because he put out his Netflix series, all right, Untold, Jake Paul.
Right.
Did you see it, or you?
I've seen it.
I've heard of it and stuff like that.
Yeah,
all right?
I haven't seen it.
It's actually a good documentary. All right, like that, and it's more behind the scenes, but like he did that, like everything building up is all promotion to sell.
Right.
Then he puts this documentary. This documentary went out the day before the fight came on. So just to keep it fresh in people's head, he's everywhere right now. You know what I mean? So like, just the dude can sell some fucking tickets.
So,
you know what I mean?
Did you see? There was a meme I saw that was like, Nick Diaz in 2016, he was pounding some dude out in the octagon, and it was like Jake Paul in 2016. He's like shirtless in the mirror, like it's like, he's a skinny kid, but anybody, I don't care who it is, I don't care if it's Mark Zuckerberg, I don't care if it's Elon Musk, I don't care who it is, bro. If somebody's training and they're training for a while, like, if they're training seriously for a while, you're gonna pick up a skill. Freaking, he's all right. He's young, all right. And so in this documentary, all right, and
number one thing he said, all right, and like how he's playing everybody, like people still think he's a boxer. You know what I mean? He is a boxer. But the thing is that this, he said, it came out of his own mouth too in the documentary. Like, he's like, I'm not a boxer, all right. I'm a boxer. I'm a promoter that's boxing.
Yeah.
All right. So because he essentially cut out the middleman.
Yep.
He is his own promoter and he is the boxer. He's making all the money for himself.
Mayweather.
You know what I mean? And so, but it took Mayweather.
Mayweather a while to do it.
It took him at the end of his career to do it.
Right.
All right. No, Jake is doing it now.
Today.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So freaking hundreds of thousands of pay-per-views, all in his pocket, all right, like that. So and on top of that, the reason that too, that it made a lot more sense why he's fighting a lot of these MMA guys is his partner used to be a matchmaker and stuff like that for Dana White.
Okay.
Yeah,
so he's got a line on those guys.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So he knows how all the inner workings, and he was the promoter for UFC for a while and everything like that. So that's his partner.
It's probably also easier to get, cause like for a boxer, like if I'm a named boxer, like Canelo's not getting in the ring with Jake Paul.
No,
because this is my area. Yeah. If I lose to you in my area, it's a problem.
He has way more.
I have a ton of shit to lose. Yeah. But and nobody gives a fuck that Anderson Silva lost the fight to Jake Paul. He's still Anderson Silva.
Yeah.
Like, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Because it's a different discipline.
Because at the end of the day, what everyone's always going to say is like, all right, you bet him in boxing, go to MMA.
Go to MMA. Yeah. Right.
Has he done that yet? No, he hasn't done that yet. He says it, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But when's it really going to happen? And like that.
Y'all heard what he said after, whenever he was like, I'll see you at the MMA, and Jake Paul was like, I'll do a blast double on him and take him down. I was okay, dude.
Bro, in the commentary post conference and stuff said, bro, I almost passed out in that. That guillotine, that like that. Like, nah, bro, come on, blast. You gotta leave your neck hanging and stuff like that. Yeah, watch the.
Well, somebody was talking about how Diaz was like throwing slapping punches, and I'm like,
doesn't he?
That's what he always does. That's what he always does.
Stockton slap.
That's literally what he does, and he's trying to soften you up so he get close to you to get you on the ground, and submit you. Like, that's it. It's not any of this other nonsense.
Yeah.
So whatever. It's great.
But man, watch if you haven't seen the documentary, go ahead and watch the documentary. It's good, you know what I mean, and it gives you a lot of insight, you know, on his thinking and stuff like that. Because you know, you know, he knows that he's a cash cow because he loves playing the heel, and the heel, you know, everybody, you know, that's why Mayweather towards the end of his career was so very successful, because, you know, he changed his name from Pretty Boy Floyd to Money Mayweather.
Mm-hmm.
Then he started playing the heel, was selling all the tickets because he was nonstop talking trash. To this day, he's, you know, already been out the game. He's still talking shit, you know, like that, you know, and selling tickets, you know,
cash shit,
you know, and so he's taken that blueprint like that and doing it from day one. And like, and so it like,
you know, who else took that blueprint, and who else took that blueprint and it made them a lot of money? Who? Conor.
Yeah.
Conor McGregor took a page right out of Mayweather's blueprint.
Yeah.
Started talking a bunch of shit at MMA. When Conor McGregor got his shots at Jose Aldo, who the fuck was he?
Nobody. You know, he was only 4 fights in.
He was. But he talked it up. He talked himself up. He kept talking. Then he was notorious Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
Everybody hated it.
Hey, you know, if you could put asses in seats, all right, that's all the freaking the company fucking wants to you know, wants to know.
Yeah.
Can you put asses in seats? Can you put, you know, people buying pay-per-views like that? If you could do that, you know, and then not lose, okay? Right. Those two things need to happen. All right? Like that.
But there's a couple of guys that have been able to have successful careers in boxing and in the UFC and really can't win any fucking fights.
Yeah. No, you know, it's hard to keep that career going. You know, if you're losing, then people are, you know, then all that's gonna kind of die off. Like, I don't want to watch this dude. You know, he's a funny shit talker, but he's gonna lose anyway. Because you know, you gotta back, you gotta walk the walk and talk the talk.
You do, but some of them, man, there's some of those guys that are just like they start calling them journeymen.
Yeah,
they're gatekeepers. Yeah, they're all in. You're like,
so let me ask you this, because you know, with the walk the walk and the talk the talk, like, honestly, are you really seeing Conor, you know, getting a lot of notoriety lately? Nah, is he as relevant anymore?
Nah.
Why?
He's not.
He's coming off like freaking 3 losses, and then on top of that, a broken leg and stuff like that. Like, bro, okay, you could talk shit, but like, okay, you're not winning no more. You know what I mean?
For him though, I think what hurt him so much is because he talked cash shit. Yeah, like he was like, I'm the best ever. Well, in MMA, not in all sports. He was
not in all sports.
I'm surprised that he never challenged Jordan to a basketball game, bro. He was like, if it can be done, I can do it,
bro. I saw him. I think this was in like some shadow boxing or pre-fight, you know, thing, and he was on the basketball court and shot it. It was just horrible, bro. It's just bro, so bad.
I'll tell you what, the worst thing it worked for him. It was really good because he did it before. I think it was one of the Diaz fights, but it was before Diaz fight when he was playing touch butt in the park. You remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That weird kind of like shadow movement thing, and they was like, but they got him a lot of attention, man.
Speaking about Netflix too, like that. One thing I'm well, you know what? I just finished it today. Like that. You remember American Gladiators?
With Nitro and Turbo?
Blaze, Laser.
Bro, you gotta be kidding me. That was the best.
What are you talking about?
Are you don't play with me.
Stop.
Don't play with me.
Stop. I'm not even dealing with you right now. American Gladiators was it.
Oh my god.
That was it.
Like, just, man, what happened to them days, bro?
They started testing people for roids, bro.
So like the documentary, you know, like it was a good, like, you know, nostalgic documentary, get you in your feels, you know, especially if you were a young kid like me. Because, all right, like, you know what it reminds me, man, like now, like all in the late 80s and then early 90s. All right, if you think about all the shows, cartoons, and then your superheroes and stuff like that, you know, and movie screens and stuff like that.
Right.
Go, like, just describe the physique of them.
Oh, bro, Action Jackson, Carl Weathers, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Lou Ferrigno. They were all just massive
bodybuilders,
like
chest, that. And then you think about, you know, Spider-Man today.
You know, Tobey Maguire.
You know,
Oh no!
I mean, I'm not hating on him, dude. Like,
you know, like
guy, right?
you think about, you know, like that, like the only one right now is Thor that, you know, big and ripped, you know, like that. All these other guys, like, not like. It's like, what happened to the action hero, man? You know? And then back then, like having that show on, you know, weekly and watching these guys freaking, you know, like doing these obstacle courses and stuff like that. Like, man, it was just the greatest thing. And I was like, why did that not just hang around long enough? Like, you know, like, would you like just to think about how affected the kids would be now today, you know, on seeing this still on TV?
Because like American Ninja Warrior is okay. But it's different.
Yeah.
It's okay, but it's different.
Yeah.
But American, like you remember watching American Gladiators,
yeah,
of course,
bro, it was
and you
the
watch
best,
it, and you would
bro.
see these guys, and you'd be like, bro,
you know how many
how
times
you gonna beat Laser?
You know how many times, yeah. You know how many times like we
got-
set up like in the living room an obstacle thing while we didn't have no gun to shoot at
Yeah.
Right.
like that, but we were throwing that stuff. I know I hit you, you know, like
Right.
or like, you know, like just the pugil sticks and things
Yeah,
like that,
bro,
bro.
it was good.
And shit was just too great.
It was good, man. It was,
Yeah.
and it's one of those shows that I feel like you really can't reboot because
No, so the closest they got to, and I don't know if you remember this, Dwayne Johnson, Rock, he came out with his own variation of it like that. I believe it was called Titans. That's what it was called.
okay, I do remember that. I do remember that.
Tyrone Woodley was one of the Gladiators.
I remember
or
that.
The Titans
I remember that.
like that. Yeah, that was like the closest I ever seen a reboot for it like that. You know, and back then, you know, they were talking about like just the liability and stuff. Like, it honestly would not hang today's standards and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
You know, there has to be a lot of freaking
People used to get hurt,
bro. Not just the contestants, but man, like these guys. You're talking about these gladiators that, you know, that were day in day out freaking going against the contestants and stuff like that, bro. They were suffering bicep tears, pec tears, you know, freaking ACL
It
tears.
was men, it was women, and it wasn't. I know WWE is real.
Yeah.
But it was more real than WWE.
No, for sure. Like none of this was staged because you know
Yeah.
because you didn't know what the contestant was gonna do.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you know these gladiators, you know, they knew what the objective was, but you didn't know what, you know, Lynn
remember
was gonna do.
the favorite,
that has
my
a chip on her
favorite
shoulder
game?
and she's a garden worker. And no, I'm gonna climb this wall. And I'm
The one with where they put the hoop in the middle.
Yeah.
And you had to like
It
run.
was 2-on-1.
Yeah.
It was 2-on-1, and you had to get as many balls in that like that. And then, bro, like, you know, tell me why, you know, getting in you know, those inflatable bubbles.
Yeah.
Right? You know why that's so famous, right? Or why that, you know, that's the thing is because the gladiators did it. They
Yep.
would be in these steel cage balls.
Steel cage rolling
you know,
around
like that.
and
Oh, I feel like I
slamming
remember
into
that.
each other.
bro.
Bro.
They need to bring back that show.
And you had to. They had like this target on the mat on the floor, and you had to roll your ball into it, and then it would shoot up smoke.
Yeah, because you had to put the ball on a like a little
Like a
a
weird little
diameter
platform,
thing.
yeah.
It was a little lip though, so you had to have enough momentum to get it up on the lift and balance it just enough for a long enough time to let the smoke come off.
Yeah.
You get the point, and then you got to like kind of maneuver yourself back to another like that because there was 4 different.
It was
Yeah.
good, man.
And bro, like man, hey, you know what? I'm gonna have to set up my own little.
I love it.
Gladiators in the gym for the kids and stuff.
See, the thing with because I actually like American Ninja Warrior, right? Like I like it,
Man,
but
watching
American
the,
Ninja
you know,
Warrior is more. It's more like unique skill for American Ninja Warrior.
Yeah.
Like to be able to do that
it's just
spider bar,
parkour,
extreme
to be able
Yeah.
to hang down by your fingernail. Like that's not like something a regular guy could do. Like you have to train parkour. You have to train mountain climb. American Gladiators, you just get some tough dudes with mullets, bro.
You know, and that, you know, in it was, and they talked about that because in the first 2 seasons or the first season, they, you know, all of the gladiators were super jacked and on steroids and stuff like that, and they were, and then the producers and stuff like that, the directors, they were picking other guys that were super jacked and on steroids going against the gladiators, and they're like, yo, this is not gonna work, you know what I mean?
Right.
We can't be showing our gladiators get beaten up. So then that's why they played off. They took the playbook of Goliath versus David, you know,
Right.
David versus Goliath, you know, like that. And so then, you know, it is Lynn. a 31-year-old garden worker
Yeah.
that can freaking beat a gladiator, you know what I mean? Like that. So now they're rooting for you, but
Because
then they
now you give the people at home
so they
something to root
changed
for.
that the second
Yeah.
season and like that, and then you started seeing that, and it, and so man,
They
show.
did the thing they normally do. Like the dudes were all topless, so they had like their weird little ties. The women were.
So the first season they're on this, man, like their costumes and their whole setup. Bro, it was so low budget, low budget, bro. It was like, they had like football pads.
Yeah.
They had, and because they couldn't get like any kind of custom thing like that, all they did was just put tape, like red tape, all on the football pads. What about y'all? Are y'all watching anything on Netflix right now?
Bro, I'm not watching anything on Netflix. I started watching Warrior on Max.
What is that?
What's
So
that?
okay. It's a kung fu movie.
Okay.
I would think so with that
Yeah.
with that title.
But it's in the old West.
Okay.
So it's like about like when the Chinese came over and they were immigrants, like building the
Mm-hmm.
railroad and stuff, and like the beef that was going on with them. But there's still like a war in Chinatown. It's set in San Francisco. Bro, it's good.
Yeah.
It's so you've got like some
Is that
karate,
new?
you got some racism. So this is
kinda-
like
I
it's
kinda
like 3
wanna
or 4 seasons old. I just started watching it because I was like, what's this?
I just got a subscription to Crunchyroll, and I told you I started watching. I got back on some Afro Samurai.
Bro, Afro Samurai, bro.
that's
That
the
is
shit,
Afro
bro.
Samurai is my dude.
Yeah, like,
Watch Berserk.
Berserk.
Watch Berserk.
Yeah, I'm looking at everything that's available like that, and so I was like,
Watch
I don't want to
Berserk.
get too.
Berserk is good.
I was like, man, like you anime role, just when you get into that, you're like, man, it's just too much.
I still haven't been able to get into Jujutsu Kaisen.
I want to get into that. One of the students was telling me that she watches it and stuff like that, and I was like, oh, that's cool. It kind of sounds like jujutsu,
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
I've watched it. Chainsaw Man.
Chainsaw Man,
Bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna get there. Let me finish, reminiscing on some, and you know what? I totally forgot too that that Stars or a Star voice in it.
Oh yeah.
Who?
In
Afro Samurai.
That's the RZA.
Riz,
No,
well, he
and Sam.
Sam.
Samuel Jackson's in there. Yeah.
A lot of these motherfuckers gonna get you. a lot of MF%. And I was telling Lynn the other day because she didn't hear about Afro Samurai, and then I was like, yeah, man, you need to get on that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And
that's a good one.
and it makes me think because like I think one of the all-time animes out there is not just for the cartoon itself, but the message is Boondocks.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
Boondocks is good.
Yes,
Boondocks is really good.
and
Boondocks is good.
Samuel Jackson is also a voice on there, but then
Regina
Regina
Hall.
King,
Regina King.
Regina King, Riley and
Huey.
Huey, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's freaking, like that.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's crazy. But when you look at all of that stuff, when you look at the anime, when you look at like American Gladiator, like we were just talking about, the biggest thing about all of those things, when you look at UFC, Jake Paul, the number one thread that made all of them famous is they market the fuck out of them things, bro.
Yeah.
Like those marketing teams, bro, crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy, bro. Crazy.
Again, man, I'll tell you, go ahead and watch that series. The Untold one, for sure, is a great documentary like that about marketing and like that. Speaking about marketing, this is a great one right here, like that. So, 50 Cent.
50.
All right.
The
My man.
himself.
Power.
Oof.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
I've
Bro.
never got into it.
Bro.
Well, because it's on Stars, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, so I've never seen 50 Cent, but I watched this Instagram post on it like that. Talk about marketing and how genius this dude is. All right, so he knew he didn't have the budget to because at the time when it came out, what was another big freaking show at the time?
It was the one that came on TV
on Fox. All right, biggest freaking show in the mid 200s or like early 200s. Empire.
Yeah, Empire. That's exactly what it's called. That's exactly what it's called. Yeah. I can't remember the name of it. It's Empire.
Yeah. Freaking, and so he knew he wasn't gonna go freaking tit for tat marketing dollars and stuff like that.
Right.
Because like he's he has money and stuff like that, but he don't have Fox money.
Yeah. I'm a big network.
Yeah,
money,
big network limit. So what I watched on freaking on the one of the stars on Power. It's like, look, he knew that we weren't gonna freaking go dollar for dollar on marketing and beat these guys, and get being a premiere show like that. So what he did is start a fake beef with Empire. All right. He purposely did it where he, like, no matter what happens, anytime that any of the Empire cast were approached or freaking did interviews and stuff, he wanted to make sure that anytime that they were being interviewed, any of them, that freaking this Empire Power freaking beef conversation was gonna come up,
right,
like that.
So
and he
people
piggybacked.
Yeah.
He piggybacked off their coattails.
Yeah.
All right. To make sure that, anytime freaking that you heard about an Empire like that, you're going to hear freaking about Power.
Genius.
Yeah.
Genius.
Yeah. I was like,
because it's just like, it's clickbait.
Yeah.
It's now you're like, wait a minute, what is this?
Yeah.
What are they beefing about with
this?
Let me check this out.
Yeah.
And bro, if you ever watch Power, it's pretty good.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
I've never gotten around to watch it, but I always like that one meme because it's the soundbite. Like I always like watching any memes because it's the soundbite from when the dude is waking up the little boy with the gun. And so like there's a lot of like videos where like it's like the owner's asleep and then the dog is like, wake up, motherfucker. Like that.
Yeah, bro.
Like that, it's over. Bro, where's my game?
Power's the only, because I watched a lot of those. The only one that I think that was better than Power, which I don't know how it didn't get the marketing, but it was on opposite The Sopranos, which got good marketing. The Wire.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The Wire Sopranos was great. Sopranos had all, but The Wire was really good. But it was still on HBO, still opposite The Sopranos. So now you're watching like, oh, I'm gonna check.
How about freaking even a little bit further back than Sopranos with the prison one?
Prison Break.
No.
I was like, what?
I
was like, what?
This
Which one?
HBO freaking.
You talking about Oz, bro?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Was it Oz?
It's called Oz, bro. It's called Oz, bro.
Nah, you don't know about this one,
bro.
I don't.
Yeah.
I've never seen it. I've never seen it.
If you watch Oz,
yeah,
you're going to go up and down about Adebisi.
Yeah.
Watch Oz, bro. Oz is good, man.
Yeah, Oz is good. It's the... Well, Orange is the New Black is the female version of Oz.
I watched that.
Yeah. But Oz is a lot darker.
Yeah.
A lot darker. You know what I mean? For sure. All right, so before we finish up and stuff, let's get to some questions of the day. What was I know there was the one that you got asked.
Yeah, I got asked the other day, how do you guys or how do we deal with anxiety before a fight or a match? I'll go first.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't. I just go and throw up.
Get that tournament shit.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
No, for real though. I'll go for a run. I'll go for a run right before. I know, like I'm gonna go. Like once I weigh in, I go for a run. I kind of walk around and stuff like that. But man, I just go through the motions. Like if I feel like throwing up, I'm like, all right, well, let's go throw up then. And then I'll just if I cry, I cry. If I have my friends there and everything. Mm-hmm. But actually, it's gotten a lot better because I think the last time I competed, Jules had just finished coaching me, but I ended up losing my match. And then I came from the bathroom and I was like kind of upset about it and stuff. And then Min met me out there at some point and he was like, why are you so upset? Like, why are you so worried about like all your matches and stuff? He's like, we're all still going to be here. You're still part of the team. We're still all, you know, nothing changes after this. You either won a medal or you didn't. And I'm like, that makes a lot of sense.
Min is the go-to person to talk to about emotions and stuff.
Right, exactly.
He's just like, don't even worry about it. Go to your next match. And I'm like, okay.
How about yourself, James?
So I am a creature of habit.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm a creature of habit.
Routine is a big thing.
I wake up in the morning. So this is gonna say. So I compete in the same underwear that I've competed in since.
How many holes it has,
bro? I'm not sure. It's like I mean, I'm talking about like since 2017.
Yo,
like
talking about the pre-shits.
I have like my tournament underwear. I wear the same, like I wear the same outfit to you ever notice when I compete, I have on the exact same thing when I compete. So it's the same. You know, I wake up in the morning. I have a series of videos that I watch, that not watch, but that play in YouTube.
I heard you be watching them hawkers.
Bro, I be watching them hawkers, bro. But it's like, because it's just this thing that like you're looking, you need some level of normalcy.
Yeah.
So if you do, you're in a different city, it's a different opponent, it's different this, it's different that, your training was different, all these things are different. So for me, the way that I level the anxiety is I go back to the normal. Like, this is what's normal, and it's always going to be the same. And I always, take my fingers 2 hours before the match. Like, it's always just this same routine, and that's what helps me. That's what helps me normalize.
Yeah.
Just like speaking, just jiu-jitsu and stuff like that, with anybody, just routine is a big thing. You need to find your routine. For me, I like to get there early, no later than 30 minutes early. Try to get there an hour early, just to be around the environment, you know what I mean? And, depending on how big the venue is, or the event is like that, you just don't let yourself get, shocked of like how, big it is like that, because I know you've said it before when you went to the pyramid and stuff like that, and I mean, like,
it's crazy,
but I'm pretty sure if you like kind of went there an hour before, or probably, or even look what happened the year after,
next year,
you already been there, and and you hung around, like it wasn't nothing. I've been here, I've done it, like that. Now I'm here to,
now it's time.
Yeah.
So really get yourself just in a routine where you get there early enough, and like just surround yourself with the noise and things like that. Try to get yourself at ease. And I tell you, anybody that if you ask them on the day of, like, oh, are you nervous? And like, nah, I'm not nervous. I'm like, they're full. Lying at their fucking ass. You know what I mean?
Lying.
And I can guarantee you they're gonna have a horrible performance if that's the truth. You know what I mean? Like that. That anxiety and that fear of the unknown and stuff like that. That's what keeps you on your edge, and that's what like really heightens up your spidey senses and stuff like that, so you can perform at a better, like, you want a small sense of that. You don't want it to really overpower you like that, where it leaves you paralyzed and then you can't even do nothing, like that. But that really keeps you sharp, like that. So for me, man, music is a big thing.
Sure. Like,
for sure,
big time.
Get, you better like that, like,
get those
other than my equipment, like my gi, my belt and stuff like that, my routine underwear that I wear.
Hey, bro, I do it. I do it for sure.
Other than my gi and my belt, or like, if I'm doing no-gi, whatever like that, like, nah, like my next thing that going in my thing is my headphones, like, and that shit, I charge it the night before, like that, those are my,
to play.
Like that. I need to get on, and then on, so I need to get in my zone, you know what I mean? And like, because honestly, that's the reason I go in so early, because I need to find that certain music, that that genre of music that's gonna get me in the zone.
Because just about to ask you that.
Because maybe one event it may be freaking hip hop and rap. Next event I'm talking about full on metal.
So,
or maybe I'm in some R&B or something like that. Just to like
I'm gonna tell you what happened to me. So two things. Why I was just looking it up, because it meant a lot to me when I first saw it. Like, we're talking about people being nervous. You have to be nervous, because that's what that's how you know if
you're
not
want
nervous, if you're not nervous, then you're not prepared.
You perform
right.
at a, it's statistically, I really I want to pull up some numbers right now, like that, but statistically you're gonna perform a lot better.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What I mean?
Fear. I saw this thing that said fear means either forget everything and run or face everything and rise.
Yes.
Right?
I've heard that. Yeah.
So I'm always I believe you need to have it because that's what's going to keep you from getting your ass kicked.
And then I'll tell you another thing too. That I do. I never. I try to I never eat anything big.
Ever. Yeah, me neither.
You know what I mean? If you're one, I even tell my kids, this because they're gonna be coming in on a tournament. They're all hopped up on pancakes and eggs and cereal and all this sugary shit like that. Not like
throw up.
just get a bite. What I mean? Like just a small breakfast taco. Some water, something like that. Like that. Whatever. Something small where your stomach is still empty. All right, because this is another statistical thing that's proven like that. You tell me in the wild. All right, where let's take the king of the jungle, a lion or a tiger that just finished eating their meal and stuff. What are they doing?
They're sleeping.
Done, tired, comatose. What I mean, like that. But when are they performing? When they're fucking
starving,
dead, hungry, tired, like that. You know what I mean?
It's what it is.
You're going into a combat sport that's super as primal as it can be, like that. Why do you want to be on a full stomach?
Yeah, and you're full.
I mean?
You're ready to
like that. Yeah, you need to be all your senses and everything need to be in tune and heightened like that, and having that empty stomach, for sure is gonna do that for you.
So I've been like we were talking about music. At first, I was okay, this is gonna be my playlist. This is gonna be my playlist. And then I went to one tournament and I was just my playlist, rap, rock. Mm-hmm. And I got so amped up and my heart was beating so hard. I exhausted myself.
Yeah.
I have to time those things.
Bro, I backed all the way out. Mm-hmm. When I'm in the pit, mm-hmm. I'm listening to Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata, bro. I'm listening to classical music. Yeah. And people are like, what? And I'm like, and I may put on one every now and again, but it's just, you need to be calm. You need to be focused.
Yep.
Like that's what you need to be. Like you need to be hyped.
I remember one tournament, I went in an hour before before I was stepping on the mat, and then so I got there, like I stepped on the mat at, I was due to step on the mat at 1:00. So I got there at 12. We didn't even get on the mat until about 3:00. Bro, 45 minutes of just pacing myself, doing my stretches and getting in the zone like that. And then I just started seeing, because I was watching the time chart and stuff on the big screen that they had up there. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Bro, I just took a nap. You know what I mean? Like, man, it took me off my game, bro. Like that. You have to time those things.
Yeah.
But you remember we used to do it more than that, though. It wasn't just timing that. It was timing your weight cut so that you came, cut, weighed in, and that you were peaking at 8:30 when your fight was on the card.
Yeah, that's a big thing for sure.
Like, it was real. Like, so, so people can do whatever they want to do, man,
what I recommend is, you have to find a routine. Whatever your routine is, do it. I suggest, 30 an hour before your match time, you get there and you settle in, with the environment that you're going to be competing in. Music, statistically has been shown, to be a big help and a factor in your performance. The meal that you eat, as well, that's a big thing, for sure. And, I know, like, when I was fighting stuff like that, fighting was just a little bit different because there was more on the line as for money wise and stuff like that. And then the severity of injuries like that. And at a certain point, I love hanging and laughing around, but then you got to kind of like laser focus in.
You got to isolate.
So being around with your like, I think like all the way up until the time you're in the pit, maybe you can like joke around and like kind of like just ease the tension, but then once you like in the pit or you're about to step out, like that, I remember being in the back one time, and I wouldn't say it was Gabe. He was drunk already, and he was cracking cracking jokes and everything.
12 in the afternoon.
And everybody's all laughing and shit because it was like, he was just being stupid and like that. And Saul's like rapping, he was like rapping like Luis's or Adrian's hands in the back and stuff. And you just hears us all just laughing at Gabe and like that. He's like, you're not even fucking fighting. Get the fuck out of here. And like everybody like, as soon as that happened, bro, we all just snapped into like fight mode.
It's
no.
I go, so like when I go out of town to compete, I get up, I stay within walking distance of the venue, within like a mile. So I get up, I do my routine, and then I walk to the venue, right? A mile or less. So then I walk to the venue. Then I get there. If I have to coach, then I'll coach first. But then when it's like 30, 45 minutes, an hour before, I'm gearing up, I'm taping, I'm headphones in, and then I'm just walking laps around the venue. Inside, but just walking around the mats because it's good. All your people are there. Like everybody's there, and that's great, except even though it's a team sport, it's a me sport.
It's time for me to perform.
It's a me sport. So I need to get myself to that place, and maybe in that moment, in that movement, in that walking around, that's when you're thinking, I got to go in. I got to grip my grips first. I got to go. This guy's going to try to pull guard. I got to be ready. I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to pass. Don't forget to do this. Don't forget to do that. And that's
visualization.
That's what's going to help your anxiety because you see yourself. You see yourself doing it. You have to have, and the other thing that's going to help your anxiety is having a fucking plan.
No, that and
Big
this
time.
is one thing that Lynn can attest to. What's one thing that I asked you right before you get on the mat? Hey, what are you going to do? Are you going to pull guard? Are you going to go for a takedown?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Every time.
Like that. I like as a coach, I need to know that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna make sure that you stick to your game plan.
Right.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because if you go out there and you haven't even told yourself this is what I want to do. I want to accomplish this pull guard or a takedown, and then to get the roll starting like that, you're gonna freak out. You're gonna stall out, and guess what? Now the guy got his grips first. He made the move first like that. Because then again, what I always say again, be the first one.
Yeah.
All right. Find your grips. Be the first one.
That's where you're getting. That's what helps. It's gonna help you. If you don't know what you're gonna do, you're gonna be more anxious. Because
you're just gonna stall.
You're like, man, spider lap, flying triangle, scissor takedown. Oh, what are you, donkey guard? Like, no, I want to do this.
I don't necessarily need to know all the nuances of your game plan as a coach and stuff like that. I just need to know what you're gonna commit to like that, because in your head you visualize yourself doing it like that to get to your game like that before the other person like that. And if you don't, it's gonna be very cost effective for you like that.
For sure.
All right. And I saw finishing now. I saw one more other question too. Is I don't know who it was, but
I did.
Why
see
are you so
question.
thick?
I did see that question with two C's.
I'm gonna need that shirt now.
All right, question mark.
First of all
right, and then she didn't even give me no credit.
I did see that.
She was like, she just put her own
jeans.
like
good jeans is what it said.
Good jeans. My mom, my dad. My dad gave me these calves. My mom gave me the ass.
From the Peach King himself,
bro.
That was my best friend, and she asked me because she's always yes, it was. I'll show it right now.
Best friend.
Right.
She's always wanted me to shout her out on the podcast. So Luce, if you're listening, this is your shout out.
Yo, but that's crazy, man.
All right, guys, keep the questions coming, guys, or the comments, or anything like this. This was a great question for sure. Everybody has those anxieties, before fight routines and stuff like that. Don't be ashamed if you're tearing up or over a real roller coaster like that. As long as you can grab a hold of that wheel as soon as you step on the mat. Because honestly, as soon as you step on the mat, or like for me when I stepped in the cage, like that, man, it like instantly you just see how fast it just turns in your head, like it's just another practice day, or just another roll like that. If you can really grab a hold of that wheel like that. If not, man, for sure you're falling off those tracks, and it's gonna kind of be real hard to get back on track for sure like that. All right, any closing thoughts?
There is one thing that's on YouTube that it's about Mike Tyson walking to the ring, and it's about it's a Mike Tyson motivation. He talks about what was going through his head as he walked to the ring. Watch that.
I know exactly what you're talking about, and I've heard it multiple times. And,
Watch that.
You know, and not to sound like a little bitch or nothing like that, but you know what? That really normalized a lot of stuff for me, because like this dude, you know, for sure, you know, one of the greatest of all times and stuff like that. And knowing that, you know, he was such an emotional wreck and in tears and things like that. This is what he was talking about in what you're in the YouTube that you're talking about like that. I was the same way,
bro. Watch that, bro.
You know, everything, you know, really rushes right there. And that's why I say anybody that says that they're not anxious or they're not nervous or they're not scared or anything like is a fucking liar.
They're lying. They're lying.
Like
they're lying.
You know, and you
they're
know,
lying.
You think about one of the most ferocious fighters that ever stepped in the ring, to know that, you know, right before he was, you know, like minutes before he stepped in that ring, he was an emotional wreck. Like, I was the same way a lot of times for my fights. You know, there was not one time, and I fought six professional fights.
One of the most dominant heavyweight fighters in the world.
Freaking, like, you know, I was always in tears, because I knew, you know, this was the difference between, you know, me eating and, you know, putting gas in my car, paying rent and things like that, you know, or not. You know,
or the culmination of all the hard work. This is everything that you put in. Like a lot of people don't understand. Okay. A lot of people don't understand that it takes a lot of emotion to be a good fighter.
Yeah.
Like, it takes a lot of emotion. So when you see a guy who just won a fight and he's crying, or he just lost a fight and he's crying, bro, this is 6 months of like soul dedication that he's put into this 15 minutes.
Like, I'll tell you a lot of one thing too, is because, you know, it's a big like, you know, a lot of people can always go at the end of the day be like, oh, you did a great job. You know, not a lot of people ever go into the ring and stuff like that. Like, it's past that, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because you know what is that I worked this hard and I fell short, and then you know, I'm embarrassed for myself, you know, because you know, I didn't get, you know, I didn't get the result we wanted. But then again, you know, freaking, it was more past that, and I don't think a lot of fighters would you know, have ever really admit this, and I'll be the first one to admit it, is that, you know, I felt embarrassed for my school, my team, my coach, all that, you know what I mean? Because, you know, I failed myself, but then I failed y'all too, you know what I mean?
Bro.
Because y'all busted y'all ass with me as well, like that, and I didn't come up. You know what
people
I mean?
always be like, you don't have to apologize for them. Like,
no,
I get it.
But I do.
But you just spent, for the past 4 or 5 weeks, you spent 6 minutes a Saturday helping me get ready for this.
And honestly, you know, that's what's gonna make you a better fighter. If you're one of those persons, I guarantee you the next person that you have to go against, you know, they're not gonna stand a chance. If you're that type of person, and you truly feel that way like that, because you know what, it's like you're gonna learn, and you know, you're gonna be coachable even more, and you're gonna really focus on your flaws and your mistakes, and you're gonna make sure that not happen. But if you're the one that, you know what, oh, I'm not scared, I'm not, you know, anxious, I'm not, you know, any of that stuff, and then you fucking lose, you're gonna probably chalk it up like whatever. You know what I mean? I don't care if you wasted your fucking, you know, weekends and Saturdays to come train with me, and you know, so what if my coach, you know, my coach fucking sucked, he didn't give me the game plan and like that. You know, matter of fact, I just posted a thing on my stories about, you know, blaming coaches and stuff like that, you know, and so but yeah, you know, so
but you're always gonna fail if you don't take accountability for what you do.
Right.
Yeah. You know, at the end of the day, you gotta look at yourself.
Mentality.
At the end of the day, you gotta look at yourself for sure. You know, your coaches can't fight the fight for you, and your teammates can't do it for you. It's you at the end of the day. For sure.
Yeah.
Like that. All right, guys, this is Eric Valdez with Sweat Equity alongside Jules Johnson and Lynn Lopez. All right, again, like, subscribe, put the notifications on, leave a comment, guys. You know, if you like what we're talking about and want us to answer anything in the future for y'all, like that. All right. Until next time, guys. All right. Find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. All right, Instagram, SweatEquity_HTX, like that, and we'll see you then. All right.